we have two plants, one being Oxalis corniculata, or what would be more commonly known as three-leaf clovers. And we also have moss, which has a scientific name, Bryophyta. So today I'll be exploring these two species and how they interact with each other in an interspecific relationship, which means that these two plant species compete for limited resources. So one major way that these species interact is through competition. So as we can see, Oxalis corniculata, or the three-leaf clover, and the mosses rely on the same limited resources such as fertile soil, sunlight, water, and nutrients from that fertilized soil. So the wood sorrel, or the clovers, with its broader leaves often shades the moss, which limits the moss's ability to get sun. So if you look under the area of the clovers, the moss gets a little bit more sparse, which is because the sun is not able to reach the moss. So that's one way that they directly compete with each other for resources. So on the other hand, mosses grow in dense mats that occupy space and potentially limit where the clovers can grow. So if you look in the places where moss is more dense, you don't see clovers growing. So you can see that obviously there's competition between these two plant species. It's not all about competition though, because these species also help each other grow. So for example, mosses are excellent at retaining moisture and preventing soil erosion. So as we can see, it just rained, so the soil is pretty wet. The moss is also helping the soil retain moisture, which actually helps the clovers grow as well. So without this stability that the moss provides, the clovers might struggle to root and grow in loose and dry soil. So another interaction is the nutrient cycling. So moss decomposes organic material in the soil's top layer, which enriches it with nutrients like we just discussed. These nutrients can be absorbed by the roots of the clovers, especially young seedlings. So in return, the wood sorrel's deeper roots may bring nutrients from the soil surface, indirectly benefiting the moss. So as we can see, even though they compete, the moss and the three-leaf clovers both help each other grow as well. So together, these species also create a microhabitat. The clovers provide shade, which help keep the soil cool and moist, especially after recent rain, benefiting the moss, while the moss provides ground cover, reducing temperature fluctuations and keeping the soil moist with a humid environment that helps both species survive in harsher conditions. So as you guys know, we live in the valley, which can have a lot of sun and heat and not as much rain. So what the moss does is it helps facilitate a more humid and wet environment for the rest of the plants to grow. So as you can see, there's also other plants in the area that the moss probably helps grow. So to close out the video, what we see here is a perfect example of an interspecific interaction between two plant species. Again, this is called the Oxalis corniculata, which is just the scientific name for three-leaf clovers, and the Bryophyta, which is a scientific name for moss. So just to recap, the moss can help the three-leaf clovers grow by retaining nutrients and moisture in the soil, and the three-leaf clovers can help the moss grow by spreading its seeds and nutrients as well throughout the soily habitat in order to facilitate each other's growth. Even though they both compete, they also provide help for each other to grow.